All right, so here we go again. This is my second attempt at this, and I thought I had it the first time and I didn't, and I thought I had it the second time and I didn't. We're just gonna muscle through it. There's 3 votes going on right now that are going to give us a kind of an idea of what's facing us in the near future. The first one just happened. It's the German vote. This is important because Germany is like the backbone of the European Union, and what happens in Germany, as goes Germany, so goes the European Union. So the vote just happened. It's already finished. Angela Merkel won a 4th term as the Chancellor. That's a record in the post-war era. But it's being considered a serious defeat for the establishment in Germany. And now Merkel's got to try to make a coalition government with this really divided legislative body called the Bundestag. That it's going to be tough. It was hard for her to make the last one. They had to cobble it together from 2 sides that are traditionally enemies, and they made it work. That coalition is not going to work this time. And the coalition they have to put together is going to be even more fragile than the last one. There's a chance that they're forced into early elections. It puts Germany's political future in serious doubt. Hold on one second. The boys are making some noise. Oh, they're just playing. They're fine. So you got to watch Germany as they try to put this government together after this recent election. It's going to be a weird German government that comes out of this this election. What it also showed is that Germany is every bit as divided as America. Especially, they seem to be divided along the east-west, the old East German, West German divide, and of course, like everyone, the rural, urban divide. And the big divider in Germany is, of course, immigration. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. If Germany is divided and distracted, then you can expect the European Union to stall out and get a little divided and distracted. If Germany's economy goes, the European Union economy goes. And when the European Union economy goes, when they can no longer pretend like it's not gone already, then you'll see some aftershocks in financial markets all around the world, and that could kick off a new recession and even a depression. So that vote's important. The next one is more interesting than important. Catalonia. If you're paying any attention, there's this region in Spain that's wanting to secede. It's already semi-autonomous to a certain extent. This doesn't have a real big impact on the rest of the world other than sort of an indicator of social trends. Catalonia is left-wing crazy liberals to begin with anyway, strong socialist leanings. It is the economic sort of engine of Spain. So if they do break away, you can expect to see Spain have some debt problems and some economic problems. This is going to be real hard. This could start some kind of constitutional crisis in Europe itself, because Catalonia breaks away. They're definitely going to want to rejoin the EU. They're not nationalists, except, I mean, they're Catalonian nationalists, but they're not EU skeptics. So they would stay in the EU, but you'd have to divide up Spain's debt. Catalonia is not going to want the debt from the rest of Spain. They already say that they take too much of the debt anyway. This one could be interesting, but it's not immediately relevant. It is, however, heating up. Spain has taken some heavy-handed tactics, and Catalonia has responded. Their police forces stood up and said they will resist. There is the potential for this one to move on into another level of seriousness. Bullets could start flying at some point, and it's important to remember the history of Spain. Never really been a very unified country ever, but certainly in the last 150 years, Spain has been very unsettled. You know, the Franco dictatorship lasted long after World War II. You know, it's just not the most stable nation in Europe, even though you don't think of Spain as being a hotbed of all this craziness, but it is. So the EU is under some pressure right now from the German sort of distraction and disunity, from the Spanish foolishness that might possibly be unleashed, and then the third vote is the the most important long term. This is something to watch. And I'm sorry, I know this is boring, man, but the important things are always boring. Kurdistan. If you're not familiar with Kurdistan, it's not even a real country, never has been, but there is a large group of people in Iraq, Iran, Syria, and Turkey who identify as Kurds. And they have wanted a homeland since World War I. These are some of the more dynamic and potent people in the Muslim world, certainly in the Middle East. They tend to have an ability to get things done and work together. They're Sunnis, which means their natural alliance is going to be with Saudi Arabia, and they're sort of naturally weary of Iran and large portions of Iraq. This is a game changer in the Middle East. If Kurdistan, and I'm nobody. Who am I? I'm nobody. But as I read their stuff this morning, just sort of preparing for this, it sounds like they've already made up their minds. They're declaring independence. They're certainly already semi-autonomous and certainly already function as an independent nation. They were the only Muslim force that was at all efficient at resisting ISIS and all that. So there's a real good chance we see Kurdistan break off, rewrites the map in the Middle East. If it happens and it goes the way you would expect, with Kurdistan, Sunni Kurdistan sort of aligning with Saudi Arabia being a major counterweight right there in the middle of, Turkey, Iran, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Israel's right across, a few borders down there. Just a game changer in the Middle East. You need to pay attention to this Kurdistan thing. Man, I'm really sorry. This was a long, boring video. What do these things portend? First off, just segregation of everyone seems to be clanning up right now worldwide. The Catalonians want to break away. There's some other group somewhere that wants to break away. Why can't I think? The Kurds want to break away. There's somebody else somewhere that's got an independence. Oh, the Basques want to break away. California wants to break away. There's just this worldwide thing going on right now where everyone's coming back to more of a tribal thing. But anyway, watch the German government situation. It has a huge impact on the European economy. Watch the Spain Catalonia thing, because it could have a major constitutional and social problem with Europe. It could actually lead to more European integration. This could cause the EU to step in and say that they have the right to mediate this thing and whatnot, and it could actually strengthen the EU power from a constitutional standpoint. So a lot of interesting things going on in Catalonia, but the real important one is Kurdistan. Like I said, rewrite in the Middle East. It could completely distract the Muslim world, and Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all these guys could get real internally focused for a while, which you would think might be a good thing. Distract the jihadists and whatnot. But what will come out of this will be a stronger, more unified Islam. However way it happens, the Sunni Shia split has got to resolve itself somehow. This may be the way it does. If there's a strong Kurdistan right in the middle of Shia territory allied with Sunni Saudi Arabia, it could be that it forces some kind of unification or something. I don't know. It's very, very, very hard to predict what happens in the Middle East. But there we are. Like I said, a long, boring video that maybe I didn't connect to your life very well. But these things have a major impact on the world economy and the future conflicts we may be asked to send our sons into, and just the general unease and uncertainty and unsettledness that's going on around us right now in the world. It's getting worse. There's further disintegration, not more integration. There's further separation. There's less ability or capacity to work together, which I don't know. I'm sorry it's long. I shouldn't go off on all this, but just pay attention. There's more things afoot than just Nibiru and North Korea and and all three of these things are probably more relevant long term, or even near term, than North Korea or Nibiru. So there you go, man. Like I said, sorry it was boring. Appreciate you.